Ooh-wee. Man, where do I start? First off, let me start by saying, welcome to Sana I.E. I'm your host, XO. Hope y'all been having a great month overall. I know I have. I'm fresh back from the Chi. If you don't know what the Chi is, that's Chi-Town. If you don't know what Chi-Town is, it's Chicago, the Windy City. And man, that's what today's episode is about. Discussing my trip to Chicago, as well as some fun facts about Chicago. And man, I just love Chicago being there. I've never went in October. I've always went during Christmas time. But right now it's just perfect. It was sunny, not too hot, a little breeze to it. The weather was just perfect every day. But when it got nighttime, that shit dropped. It felt like I was out there in the ice. But I just love the whole atmosphere of Chicago. My family was there. My family lives there. And every time we go out there, it's always good times. It was like a mini family reunion now, and I'm so grateful for it because my plan before I went was to rebuild relationships with the family. It's like we all got family members who are family, but we only speak to them on occasions, probably once or twice a month. Instead of that, let's try to speak to them once or twice a week and see how they're doing, because that once or twice a month, it didn't sit right with me. So that's why I had to go back and really just sit down and rebuild relationships, rebuild that connection with the family. Yeah, you're family, but y'all haven't spoken in months or maybe even years. So it's all about reiterating and putting that time in with the family, seeing how they're doing, seeing what inspires them, seeing how life is treating them and everything. So that's what I was doing when I went out there. But let me just rewind to the beginning, and let me just start off with my quotes of the day. My first quote is, and this quote resonated with me because as I was doing my morning routine, I was just thinking about this consistently. But the quote is, consistency is more important than perfection. Consistency is more important than perfection. We all know nothing in life is perfect. I think consistency is the new perfection in my terms. Because if you're being consistent with everything you're doing, like with me, it's the podcast. Staying consistent, dropping episodes, working on new episodes, getting new topics, getting new interviews, staying consistent and dropping that episode and bringing value to somebody's life. Staying consistent with what you want to happen, what you want to do. Staying consistent with your craft. That's how you get perfection. If you're staying consistent, staying disciplined on what you are doing. Me, this morning, like I said, in my morning routine, I was focused on how can I be more consistent and how can I be disciplined. And then my mind started racing and wondering, doing different things. Oh, this is how you can be consistent and disciplined in this area. This is how you can be consistent and disciplined in this area. So that's how it goes, just being consistent over time. And consistency leads for perfection, because everything you do won't be perfect, but as long as you're consistent and persistent and with what you're doing, all right, this ain't gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be damn near perfect to where I just can be consistent. My next one will be perfect. So it's all about continuously working and steady grinding, and not trying to work towards perfection, but working towards putting out a great product for people, bringing value to people's lives, motivating people and inspiring people. So once again, my quote is, consistency is more important than perfection. My next one is, if the mind can cause stress, the mind can alleviate it. It's within our power to choose one thought over another, to choose optimism over pessimism. Basically, the whole quote is choice. We all have choice. We all have the power of choice, the power to choose. Choose what we want in our life, who we want in our life. Every day we're making choices. Right now, you're making a choice to continue listening to this podcast or turn it off. So having that consistent choice is what gives us power. The mind can cause stress and the mind can alleviate stress. It's all about choosing one thought over another. So we all have the power of choice. It's about choosing the positivity, being persistent, being consistent, instead of being the pessimist, being negative, being so caught up and wallowing in what happened 2 weeks ago, a year ago, or 10 years ago. No, we have the power of choice. The choice is yours. So start deciding and choosing being happier, being optimistic, alleviating the stress that's consistently running through your head, alleviating the negative thoughts. Stay consistent and stay optimistic about anything and every situation. Trust me. Everybody goes through what you're going through in different shapes or forms. Some people passed and some people failed. So it's all about your choice of being consistent, being optimistic, choosing to be positive, and not letting no stress or anything get to you. I'll be right back with Sana IE. Chicago, Chi-Town, the Windy City. Man, it was just so perfect out there. I enjoyed my mini vacation, and as well as, like I said, reconnecting with the family, talking with the cousins. My cousin got married out there. That was a big event. I did some photos for them. My first wedding photo shoot, which I love, and building that experience, building that my craft. So overall, the trip was a win in my book because I learned, I rebuild, and I put some work in, and I ate some great food. But let me hit y'all with some fun facts about Chicago. Willis Tower, formerly known as Sears Tower, is one of the most popular attractions. I didn't go, but it's the second tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. On a clear day, visitors can see 4 states from the sky deck: Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Also, spray paint was invented by Chicago salesman Ed Seymour. I was going to say Sawyer, but Ed Seymour. Chicago was also the home of the Twinkie. Chicago native Jimmy Dewar worked as a manager at the famed Hostess Brands factory. During that time, Dewar wanted to create a pastry filled with cream. The Twinkie was launched in 1930 and was named after an ad for Twinkle Toe shoes. The original Twinkie was filled with banana cream, but was replaced with vanilla cream during World War II when bananas became scarce. Hey, that sounds fire though. On a side note, like, imagine a Twinkie with banana cream. Fire. Another fun fact about Chicago: the world's first all-color television station, NBC5 Chicago/WAMAC television station, has a rich history of innovation. After many months of hard work, the channel became the first all-color station in the world on April 15th, 1956. Another fun fact: the only river in the world that flows backwards. You like, what? Flows backwards? What you mean? Flowing through downtown Chicago, the Chicago River has a fascinating history. Not only does the river run through various systems and canals, it's also the only river in the world that flows backwards. This technique was introduced for sanitation reasons to divert sewage away from Lake Michigan water supply. And this one I found very interesting, especially with everything's going on right now. The first televised presidential debate happened in Chicago. This innovation in TV transformed voting by letting citizens witness important political matters in the comfort of their own home. The candidates were John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon. They were broadcasted from Chicago's CBS State Channel on September 26, 1960. This political breakthrough made it easier for citizens to feel updated and included. And that's funny because as we're in Chicago, the vice presidential debate came on, and as we all know, Kamala Harris wiped the floor with Pence. But I just found that extra fascinating because the first televised debate was in Chicago, and then I end up seeing the vice presidential debate while in Chicago this past weekend. So I just found like little stuff like that intrigues me. But let me tell y'all about the trip. Day one, you land, had to recharge, get that, that jet lag kicks in. So recharge, went to Grandpa's and ate this joint called Beggar's Pizza, and it's only in the Chi. Beggar's Pizza, they have this thin slice. The thin slice pizza is so, excuse my language, so fucking good. And the cheese, it tastes like natural, and like real natural versus any other cheese. So every time I go to Chicago, their pizza is just always phenomenal. So if you're in Chicago or you're going to Chicago, check out Beggar's Pizza. Get that thin slice pizza, and trust me, let me know what y'all think. As well as we watch, like I said, the presidential debate. And as well as, like I said, Kamala Harris wiped the floor with Pence on many matters. If you watched it, let me know what you think. I'm going to give y'all a brief break and I'll be right back. the debate. Kamala Harris was answering majority of her questions, as well as Pence. I felt like he was more deflecting and kept going over his time trying to get his point across instead of listening to the rules, the guidelines of the vice presidential debate. But that's still something they're working on. Overall, Harris won and left an impact on people. I was looking at the statistics, and before the debate and after the debate, her percentage of people that's going to vote for Biden and Harris went up tremendously. As me watching, I was like really sold on Kamala Harris, and like I said, the impact she made. She knew what she was talking about. She knew her purpose. She had her notes down, and she was just really consistent on laying out her points, answering questions. Sometimes she would deflect and not answer certain questions, but at the same time, she still left the purpose, left the impact on people and on voters. So that is day one. Day two, people, I woke up, started working on this episode and working on my business, drop shipping. Y'all know what I'm with that. And me and my girl was supposed to start it up last month, but we had a minor setback. But minor setbacks lead to major comebacks. So right now, just woke up doing that research and still staying consistent. See, being consistent. We talked about that as the morning quote. Staying consistent and persistent on your goals, on your tasks, and on anything. There's going to be setbacks with anything in life. Anything that you're doing is going to be a setback. Prepare for that setback. Don't let that setback set you all the way back to where you're like, all right, fuck it, I'll give up. Nah, setbacks happen. Just focus on the major comeback when you get that setback. So I just want to point that out. After that, went to my grandpa's house. Shout out to him doing his thing. Best dress in the family, no doubt. Went to my grandpa's house, got some Italian beef. We wanted to hit Al's, but we hit Al's after the wedding. So did that, met up with my cousins, went to the Airbnb. Airbnb was real nice and plush. Had a super host. If you're in Chicago, check out the Airbnb. It was off Archer Avenue. Super host Fortino. Shout out to him. Shout out to Airbnb for the support. As well as that, that's Thursday night. Thursday night football came on. We ordered deep dish pizza from Illuminati's. Hands down, best deep dish pizza in the world. The crust was amazing. Best crust I've ever had. I'm a pizza connoisseur. Trust me, it's the best. If you're in Chicago or you're going to Chicago or you're planning to visit, check out Illuminati's. Best pizza, best deep dish pizza. It won't steer you wrong. No doubt. But yeah, and that night we just ended up watching the Bears and Bucks game. What a game. Bears did their thing, Bucks did their thing, but overall it was a good game, good day. Next day, Friday, went to this cafe called Wild Berry Cafe. If I can tell you about how bomb these pancakes were, y'all be like, whoa, bomb pancakes. They were like fluff and fresh. Love that. And I had, what did I have? I had a skillet that was fire too, but overall the whole ambiance and atmosphere and place was good. Check out Wild Berry Cafe. From there, I went to the Bean. Saw the Bean. Chicago's famous for the Bean. They had it blocked off, but still was able to get your pictures done. Just down at Millennium Park, and that whole atmosphere, that right there, was just, it made me feel like downtown New York in a way, simply because all the traffic that's moving, got subways moving, got people shopping, got people at Millennium Park. But if you in there, check out the Bean. Trust me, you love the Bean, you love the whole atmosphere, and just love the weather was perfect that day. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. It was like right in the middle. But checked out the Bean and got some pictures, got some dope footage, just walked around and just really just experienced Chicago and what the Chicago life is like. Did a little shopping myself, and every city you go to, shop for something, even if it's something small, always just purchase something. Then we went back and saw LA versus Miami. That game, honestly thought LA was gonna win, but they didn't. But we all know the outcome now, but I really thought they was gonna close them out that game. So that was that day. Next day, woke up, we all chef breakfast, had mimosas, got ready for the wedding. Man, the mimosas, the breakfast, fuego. But did that and went to the wedding. Like I said, it was my first wedding as a photographer and getting the right shots, learning to where to be, what shots I needed, and what shots to take. So it's still a learning experience for me, but overall I think I did good. I give myself like a B-, but I can't wait for y'all to see the pictures. If y'all having a wedding or getting married soon, hit me up. I got somebody that can get y'all married, and I'm a photographer too, so holla at your guala. But the wedding overall was nice. Had brunch food, they had red velvet, French toast. I know y'all like, dang, everything he's talking about is food. Hey, that's all I had, was just eating like crazy out there. And they just had some bomb food. But the wedding overall, like I said, a nice reception, nice setup. I love the way they set it up. They big Bears fans, so they had the orange and blue. And it was just real nice, real cool, calm, funny. Like I said, it was like a mini family reunion. Got to see all the fam again and just really be there. And that Sunday, quick play-by-play. Woke up, ate some food, went to Pocho's, another urban cafe. Pocho's, fire. Had me a mushroom omelet. And, well, I skipped the part. Saturday after the wedding, went to Al's, ate the Italian beef. If you know, the world famous Al's Italian beef, best Italian beef in the world. Presidents went there, movie stars went there. Best, bomb, had to check it out. Well worth it. I ain't gonna lie to you, that shit put me to sleep. For real. And then Sunday, just chill with the fam, had a cookout. Shout out to, if you ain't had a Chi-Town cookout, Chicago barbecue, trust me, that's something to die for. But overall, it was a great experience, spending time with the family, the friends, and just really getting to know Chicago more. Because every time I go to Chicago, it's just to visit fam. I didn't go on my Explorer tip, but this time I did, and truly grateful for it. I'll be right back. Overall, my experience in Chicago, I loved it. I'm grateful that I went and took the time out to really take on vacation. Sometimes, especially with the pandemic and everything that's going on, we get so caught up with just being at home, stuck at home, and not really going out and vacationing or spending time with the family or going to other states to visit family. But it's more than that. I know with the pandemic, still staying safe and being safe everywhere you go. Wear your mask up, even if you have to glove up or use a face shield. But always being cautious and safe anywhere you go. But as well as getting out there and spending time with your family, meeting your family, and rekindling those relationships with the family. If you right now, you're listening to me, thinking about, dang, I haven't spoken to so-and-so in about 6 months or since this pandemic started. Well, maybe you should hit up your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your friends, whoever it is that you haven't spoke to in a minute, and just hit them up and rekindle that relationship or build that relationship and just see how they doing and checking on them and just like, hey, man, I know we haven't talked for some months. I hope you all doing well. I know I've been caught up busy with my life, but I'm here for you if you want to talk or anything of that nature. But overall, man, it was great. Brought me coming back to Cali, got me that energy that I needed, that grind, that hunger that I needed to stay and bring it up to a whole nother level. I know, like, every time I feel like I go out of state, see the fam, see how the fam's doing, it just gives me that fuel to keep doing what I'm doing, and as well as go harder. Where you got to maybe use that NOS. I'm talking about fuel, but maybe I have to use that NOS and really go faster to the finish line. But I really love the whole experience of Chicago. Meeting the people, eating the food, trying out the different dishes. I didn't get no restaurant barbecue, but I got some barbecue from my family, and that's just the same. But overall, I loved it. Experiencing Chicago, the weather, the people, the atmosphere, the stores, the being. I did want to hit Willis Tower, but I wasn't able to. As well as I'm planning on going back out to Chicago and just exploring more. My explorer side, it piqued my interest. Like me, just exploring different cities, different countries, different states, just exploring and see what they're about. Like these fun facts about Chicago, I didn't know about them until I started doing my research. So if there's a city that you plan on visiting or you're visiting right now, let me know how that is. If you got any friends that listen to podcasts, any family members that listen to podcasts, or anybody that you know that listen to podcasts, do me a favor. Send them a link to this episode or one of my episodes, or send them the link to my podcast, and let them like, hey, it's a podcast I've been listening to or I discovered. I think you should listen to it. And I appreciate that. That's all I ask. Just send it to a friend, send it to a family member, send it to somebody, or subscribe yourself. Or if you're listening to Apple Podcasts right now, just scroll down, leave a review, good review, bad review, reviews. I love them all. So I appreciate that. But I think that's the end of the show. I know it came by quick. I know you're thinking like, dang, that's the end. Y'all looking at y'all watch. Yeah. But I got another one coming for y'all on Friday. So that's why I made this one just a recap trip of my trip to Chicago and the experience of Chicago and the fun facts about Chicago. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Let me hit y'all with a quick recap. So I started with the quote of the day. Consistency is more important than perfection. Stay consistent, stay persistent, stay disciplined. Perfection is a myth, honestly. My next quote is, if the mind can cause stress, the mind can alleviate it. It's within our power to choose one thought over another, to choose optimism over pessimism. Then I discussed and talked about the fun facts of Chicago. The Willis Tower, second tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. I got to see for myself. I didn't go, but they said from the sky deck on a clear day, you can see Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Like, who wouldn't want to see 4 states and being one of the second tallest building in the Western Hemisphere? If you've been to Willis Tower, formerly known as Sears Tower, let me know how it is. I didn't go myself personally, but I want to know if you experienced it or if you plan on experiencing, like, hey, I'm going to Chicago this weekend. Thanks for these fun facts or these tips about what I should do. So let me know what y'all think if you've been there or if you haven't been there. As well as the spray paint was invented by a Chicago salesman, Ed Seymour, the home of the Twinkie. The Twinkie was first born in Chicago. You didn't know that? Now you do. The world's first all-color television station, which is Embassy 5, Chicago. Their river is the only river in the world that flows backwards, and that's for sanitation reasons. I didn't see the river either, but that was so cool. When I read about that, I was like, oh, word. I need to see that, but I did it. The first televised presidential debate happened in Chicago. I discussed my days in Chicago, what I did. Day 1 through day 5. 5 days in Chicago, loved every day, made the most of every day, ate good, spent time with the fam, explored, shopped, slept, watched some sports. I love sports, watched Bears and Bucks game, watched Lakers in Miami. I also watched the vice presidential debate and really opened my eyes to what they're fighting for, what stances, where they stand on certain topics and certain subjects, which is good too. So overall, I enjoyed my whole trip. I was grateful for it. I'm gonna lay this one. I got one little bonus. The bonus tip, not no bonus tip, but just something to watch. I was on my flight there on Netflix. I came across this show, The Right to Vote. And that show, especially with everything that's going on right now, voting coming up within the election days, November 3rd, but you can vote early now. But check out The Right to Vote on Netflix. It basically discusses voter suppression, mail-in voting, voter rejections, Florida rights registration, disenfranchisement, and also tells you that North Dakota doesn't have a registration. You have to register in North Dakota. But check those out and let me know what you think about that. It's a great episode. I've been watching little docu-series. Like I said, once again, it's The Right to Vote, and it's really educational and informative. And the reason I'm telling you, because I think you should watch it and let me know what you think, as well as give me the feedback. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Sana IE. I'll be back with y'all on Friday. Leave a review, subscribe, send this to a friend, share with a friend, promote on your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anything, LinkedIn. Promote this for me. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to leave you with this. Sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through expectation. Have a good one.